Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. I'm Julie Davison, and this is my wonderful mother, Susan LaCroix.
Thank
We're
you.
so excited that you are joining us for today's episode of Sunday Stamping. If you're brand new to our channels, welcome. We're so excited that you're here. Sunday Stamping is our weekly video series where we share Stampin' Up! Projects using the same products. And so today's video is so fun because the new catalog has launched, and so we can now share the inside of the catalog and we can really kind of dig into some of these amazing products that you are going to be able to order. So last week we did share some sneak peeks during our stamp along video, and we're going to keep using new products this week. And so we'll have all the links in the video description. You can order any of the things that we share today right now in our online store.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week, Mom, with the catalog launching, and you were just here because today is my calendars. I gotta flip it.
There it
It's
is.
still
So it's going to
it's
be
still on it's
April,
still on April. It's May
yeah,
7th.
May 7th.
And so
So
technically, actually, you're in
we're there.
person with me,
Yes.
in Illinois visiting.
Yeah.
But this video is pre-recorded because we have to catch up a little bit before your trip over
Yeah.
to Europe. So that's really exciting. So
Mhm.
um yeah, I don't know what else to say. How was your week? Seems silly since you're just sort of guessing on how your
Yeah.
week is, but I think you could have a pretty good guess. It's been busy.
It's been busy. Absolutely. Um, because yes. So Hostess Club on the 1st and the 3rd before we left. Scrambling to put in orders from the catalog launch and Hostess
Yeah.
Club, and ordering things that I want from the new
Yeah.
catalog as well. And then packing a suitcase. Oh, and of course, then we had the Black Tie Gala
Oh,
coming
yes, that's
Thursday, and
right.
then we're getting up early that next morning and heading out the door. So we have to pack so that we can just, take care of business here. So,
Yes.
so
And
yes.
we have a busy weekend while you're here with the kids,
Oh,
the
yeah.
musical and softball, and there was a band concert, and it's busy, 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 busy. But we're hoping that when everyone is back to school tomorrow morning on Monday, that we'll be able to film a new video with some new product to share with you again in the coming weeks. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I know.
I feel like I can't contain my excitement any longer. So
I know.
let's flip the camera over and you, and you can introduce the product that we'll be sharing today.
All right, I'll be happy to. So, if you haven't guessed by now, we're going to introduce you to the new in colors and the things that you can get in all the in colors. So, I'm going to start off, and they're random. There isn't any particular order to it, but this one is copper clay. And I am really excited about using this. This is like right up my alley. And as a matter of fact, if you're paying close attention, that's Julie's shirt. She's wearing a copper clay shirt. So here's a piece of the cardstock. And then we have some paper stacks with the designer series paper. So I did order a pack of that, which I used last week. So those are the DSP images for copper clay. I love this woven ribbon. It's soft,
Yes.
and I'm just I haven't used it yet as of the video filming, but I intend to. And then, of course, we have blends. So it's nice that all of the end colors have blends. So this is the light and dark blend. And then we have a Stampin' Right marker too. And just as a reminder, we have new markers. So the barrel is slightly larger. And instead of that fine tip, oh, I got some fuzzies here. It's a bullet point tip. I don't even know if you can see that.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I love the new markers.
Yeah, so I'm excited to try to play with those. All right, that's copper clay. And then the next one I'm going to introduce you to is Baja Breeze, right?
Boho. No,
Boho.
blue.
Boho. We had a Baja Breeze. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Okay, so We have the ink pad. We have the cardstock. I love this color.
Yes,
And if
this is
you
a very
signed up
you color.
during, yeah, it is. During celebration, you were able to get a mini in the boho blue. But here's the
Yeah, the Stampin' Cut and Die machine.
yeah. So here is this designer series paper in the boho blue. We have this beautiful, again, woven ribbon. I just can't stop looking at it. I love this color. We have the blends, the light and dark blends, which aren't even out of their package yet. Isn't that sad? It will be soon. And then Stampin' Right marker. And then I need to start moving some of this stuff off my desktop so I can share with you. I had it organized because I thought I'm going to be so organized. It's going to be so smooth. Okay. So thank you for your patience while I do this. All right. So the next color is going to be wild wheat. And so let me get that out here. So I don't know if you can hear my phone ringing. So I'm going
No.
to ignore it. Right. So here is the wild wheat cardstock and the DSP paper pack for this.
I think that I heard that the working name for this color was newborn baby.
Oh, oh dear. Yes, because yes, this looks like breast milk stool of a newborn. But it pairs so well with other colors, you won't even think about baby poop in a minute.
No, I love these colors. I think they work so well together.
I think so. And hopefully you'll see that on my project. So here's the ink and the blends and the marker for this one. And that beautiful woven ribbon. Love it, love it. The next one is also one of my favorite colors, and I'm not really a pinky person,
Hmm.
but I love this color. It just reminds me of shabby chic and being able to do some wonderful kind of yeah, shabby chic creations with it. So the cardstock, the designer series paper.
This color reminds me of Noni.
You see, yes. Oh yeah. Our our mauve ink and the ribbon for this. And the Stampin' Right marker, and of course the blends in light and dark. And then last, but certainly not least, because I do love this color, and this is Pebbled Path.
Oh,
What a
this is
wonderful neutral.
such a good neutral. I was just gonna say that.
Just it's just wonderful. I mean, I just am in love with all of these. Here's the ink that goes with that. And the ribbon, the Stampin' Right marker, and of course, the blends in light and dark. So those are our new in colors. And I just cannot tell you how much I love these. And I can't wait to get my hands on them. I can't wait to play more with them for
Yes.
years. And I will be sad when every single one of them are gone.
Oh,
So Julie, are you ready to share your
I I am ready. I want to
okay?
change it over to my desktop. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful they look together. I just love these colors. Copper Clay Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moony Mauve, and Pebbled Path. And today I'm going to show you a card that you can make with any of the colors. In fact, I have a whole set of cards using the same layout and using each one of the colors. I'm using the Circle Sayings bundle today. This is a new one. Demonstrators could pre-order it. It includes a 2 3/8 inch circle punch, a new size for us, and the Circle Sayings stamp set. This is a photopolymer stamp set that's designed to coordinate with that circle punch and fit. And so I thought this would be a good one because you can kind of change out the colors. So I'm going to just show you one of the cards and then I'll show you the other samples. So I was trying to decide on which color to use, and I think I'm going to go with Boho Blue for our sample card. And I don't have the measurements on Post-it notes, but I wanted to kind of walk through cutting the background piece, because if you're going to make cards like this, like I did, and make them in all the colors, then you want a nice efficient way to cut your cardstock. So the background piece is 3¼ by 4½. And from a full sheet of 8½ by 11 cardstock, I'm going to be able to get 5 pieces, one for each color. So the first cut is going to be at 3¼ and I'm going to just put that aside for a second and then cut at 4½. This is going to go somewhere else. And then I'm going to turn this and I will cut 3 3¼ inch pieces. So again, the finished size on this cardstock is 3¼ by 4½. And then my other piece, I started with 3¼ so now I'm going to do 4½. Okay, so 5 pieces from one 8½ by 11 piece of cardstock. And then for the designer paper, I'm using both patterns and I'm going to cut 1-inch strips. So this was a 6 by 6 piece to start with. So then I'm going to turn it and cut at 3 inches. So our designer paper pieces are 1 inch by 3 inches, and you will need 4 of them. So you're going to use all 4 patterns from the paper pack for this card. Our card base is the standard 5½ by 8½ scored at 4¼ And so we're going to do some simple layering here. We only need one of these white layers, but I wanted to show you how to cut them all. So I'll save these to go with my other card bases to make some more cards later. And so we're going to start by gluing these down, all 4 onto the white cardstock. And let's turn them all over. I'm going to start with the bottom and the top pieces. And I'm just kind of centering so that there's the same amount of room on the sides and the bottom. Oops, I'm just going to go ahead and put adhesive on all of these. And then the next one is the top. So I do the top and the bottom first so that then I can use the rest of the space to space out the other 2. And if I need to, have them be closer, I can, or if I can move them farther apart. But if you start with the top and the bottom and those are spaced evenly with the top and the bottom, then the middle can kind of be fudged around a little bit. Okay. So there is the beginning of our card, but now we're going to use that stamp set, the circle sayings, and we're going to stamp the celebrate circle and the cupcake, and then we're going to color the cupcake wrapper. I always love doing cards like this when there's new in colors, just to kind of showcase each of the colors, creating a monochromatic card. And so I did this with each of the colors. I stamped the words with the in color and then the cupcake with the Memento black ink. And can you believe, Mom, that I did not order stamping blends for the in colors?
What?
I don't know how I missed that. And unless they are hiding in my room, I don't have them. So I'm using the regular Stampin' Write markers for my projects today, which comes with all 5 colors in one package. So this is very convenient and it has all the colors I need. It's also cheaper than it is to buy 5 of the Stampin' Blends. And so you can absolutely color with these markers. So if you don't have the blends, then this works as well. So I'm going to use the regular marker to color in the wrapper. And I do find with the Stampin' Write markers that you generally can see the brush strokes a little bit more than with the Stampin' Blends that kind of blend in with each other. So I want to make sure that I'm going in the same motion direction as like the lines so that it doesn't look weird to be going like, having marker lines in the opposite direction. But this is just pretty pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and punch that out with the circle punch, and there is quite a big border around the Celebrate. And I left the icing blank. I just didn't color it, but I'm going to add some Wink of Stella and just add some kind of glitter to that frosting. So yummy. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but
Oh yeah, you can.
all
Yeah.
right. So our card is almost done. I gotta add some of this gorgeous ribbon though. Like you said, Mom, it is so soft and just so pretty. I love it. It's just really vibrant. And so I'm gonna take a piece and I want to go the opposite direction. I'm going to take a piece and put it on the designer paper. I'm going to use my little trick with the tear and tape to hold it down.
That's a
Just
cute
right,
color.
thank you, right across the center. And then I'm going to add the circle with Stampin' Dimensionals. I want my circle to be hanging over. I'm going to add one more. Oops. I want it to be hanging over the edge of the card over here a little bit. And then I am choosing to use some Stampin' Dimensional edges to pop up the whole piece, although you could very much just glue it down if you wanted to. The bag is not how they come. We've talked about this before. I'm lazy about using my edges, and so, so I have a bunch of sheets like this, and then I end up cutting the edges, and so I'm really trying to work on using them. Um,
Well, if you like my card, Julie, you can use a bunch of them.
oh, good. I will look forward to to having a an excuse to use those up. So now I'm just going to center, and I'm ignoring the circle. I want it centered with the white rectangle, centered right in the middle of the card. Something, I need another dimensional there because it's just pulling up, I can tell. I think the ribbon was interfering.
Oh, yeah. Very nice, Jay.
How about some bling?
Yes, and I forgot to show those.
Oh, these are the in
Yes.
color dots. What are they called? They're the 2023-2025 in color dots. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
They're shiny. And they're enamel smooth in each of the in colors. So we've got the boho blue, the copper clay, the
Moody
moody
Mauve.
mauve, wild wheat. That's kind of a bright wild wheat, and the pebbled path. So so there's my card. I want to show you. I did make it in each of the colors. So let me bring those in and I'll show you. The boho blue, the copper clay, the wild wheat, moody mauve, and pebbled path. And after I finished all of them, I thought there's so many other really great images in this set. And so I really wanted to kind of play around and see. So I made up some other circles using the images in this set. And I just kind of wanted to show you how you could easily substitute those other images into the same card layout. So let me kind of bring in some of these. So here's one where I stamped the flowers and the happy birthday. So it might look like that. On this one, I stamped the pebbled path and then I colored with all the in color markers to do the shells, but you could also just do monochromatic with the shells and do a thank you. Here's another one with the flowers, but I did them on the side instead of on the bottom. Oh, I love the way this one turned out. I think it's best on the blue. This is another image from the set, and I colored with the markers. I added a little Wink of Stella on the wave, and then wild wheat for the sunshine. Another one with wild wheat, seashells with the black sentiment, or this one, because you're awesome. And then last one, sending you a warm hello.
Aw.
So lots of different ways to mix and match the Circle Sayings stamp set and the new in colors. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I hope this layout has inspired you, whether or not you have the new in colors or maybe you're substituting something totally different. I think this is going to be a fun one to use up coordinating designer paper.
Absolutely. Julie, those are lovely. I love them all.
Thank you. I'm excited to see what you've made because I know you are using all of the in colors on
Yeah.
the same card. So let's flip it over to your desktop.
All right. So let me get these out of the way since Julie showed them. So I am making a floating card. Haven't made one of these in a long, long, long time, but I just thought what a fun way to show off all these colors. So our card base is basic white thick, and it's our traditional 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4.25. And then that's really the only other measurement besides these 1/2 inch strips of cardstock. So I have every single one of them. And you can, when you make a floating card, you can use any shape you want. You can use whatever colors you want, as many colors as you want. You can use designer series paper or cardstock. I'm choosing just to use the cardstock today because I want to really focus on these colors. And you can use like any greeting or whatever you want. So the basics that you need are a piece of acrylic, which I hope you can see. And I found it best to work on a little piece of grid paper when I'm placing these. And I'll show you why in a minute. And I went ahead and put tear and tape on the backs of all these pieces so that I could just kind of move along here because there's a few little parts to this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the wild wheat on the top of this. And so what I want to do is I want them to be evenly spaced. I'm not going to do any kind of fancy measuring. I'm just going to use my grid paper to help me gauge my spacing. And you want your acrylic to be a little bit bigger than your die cut image that you're going to use. So I'm going to just kind of start here at the top, and there's going to be edges and stuff that come off. I'm sliding off here. So it doesn't matter because I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. All right, so that now I'm going to use some copper clay. And put that down, and I'm just using the grid paper again to kind of get some even spacing. So I think that looks about right. And you can have different when you cut your strips, you can do like 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, third, whatever you want to do. You can vary them, or you can do them all evenly. And I chose to do them all the same because again, I'm really focusing on the colors for right
How
now.
much space are you leaving in between each strip?
Not quite 1/4 of an inch. I'm kind of just eyeballing it, to be honest with you. But I find that using the grid paper helps line them up. So I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. And I'm so gonna miss our layering circles because that was going to be what I was going to use. So I'm going to put this one down here. And then the other thing you might want to do, and I should have done that, I think, is I'll show you the dies that I'm going to use from the new catalog. They are the Countryside Corners dies. And so I'm using the big one.
Oh.
So I want to make sure that I'm going to capture it all. So I think I'm going to move this up here. So I think I'm okay. So I would highly recommend that whatever you're going to use, that you kind of double check against your die cut.
Have a little extra room.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so all right. So there it is. So this is the first part that I'm going to do it. And so you can kind of see, I'm going to leave the grid paper here for a little bit. And then what I would do is I would take this over to my machine and die cut it. And then I also brought out the dies for the designer tags, because there is, let me pull it out real quick for you. There is a butterfly. And I like to use
Oh,
detailed dies versus just a solid, but you could use whatever you want. Because then once I get this die cut out, then I'm going to die cut through with the butterfly here. So I've already done that piece. And let me pull that out for you so you can see it die cut. So here it is die cut. And this is how this would die cut out, just so you can kind of see my starting point. I don't know if you can you see that okay on camera?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Excuse me. So that part of it is done. So I'm going to take my basic white card base now. And we're going to go ahead and put this on our card base. And so what I recommend highly is that you bring out either Julie's Edges, her little bag of it, or our foam adhesive strips. But you can use anything that you have that you want, if you want to use regular dimensionals or, you know, whatever. So we're going to pull a strip up.
These are nice because they're really skinny.
Yes, they are. So I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm going to start putting my adhesive strips on. This is not, I don't think it's a you know, a difficult card to make. There's just, you know, there's a lot of steps to it. And this
A
is
little
definitely,
tedious. Yeah.
well, it's definitely for an avid crafter for sure.
So are you putting the foam adhesive strips on all of the colors or just
I
okay.
thought about it and thought, you know, I just want to kind of make sure that there's no,
Sagging?
yeah, I'm gonna put this guy up here. See what I have here that I can use up. This guy over here. And grab another line strip. And I realized when I got it all done, I never did an inside to this card either. But
Oh,
there's something out.
those designer tags, are those did they carry that over to online exclusives?
You know, I think so. I know that there are some things that moved over there, but honestly, I didn't check the catalog to see if it was in, or if it's in the online exclusives. I know they didn't retire.
I think they might be in the online exclusives. We'll have the item number in the video description, but if you're not seeing it in the catalog, that could be why. Some
Yeah.
of those yeah, some of those carryover things
You have
they
the catalog
didn't
there?
I do, yeah.
What is
I
that?
I thought I had the list of the carryovers.
I thought I did too. It's probably here somewhere.
Yeah, I I have these dies and they're still new in the package. I haven't used them. I don't see them in the catalog, so I think that they are
Oh, I hope they're not retired. I hope I
an
don't.
online exclusive carryover.
Okay. All right. So now that we have our oh, the other thing I did was I die cut out that after I die cut out the image, the butterfly image on this focal piece, I cut another one out in basic black.
Oh, they are carried over, by the way. They're online exclusive, so that you won't see them in the catalog, but they are still available to order. So when you're done or when you have a second, can you bring them back in so we can see all the dies that are in that set? Because I think that's one that
Absolutely.
kind of has been under the radar.
I think you're right.
It was new last year in the catalog, and And now it's not pictured in the catalog, so.
Okay. I'll be happy to do that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and place this floating piece on the front of our card. And then our little butterfly is going to go right in here. So I'm going to get out some liquid glue. And just put a little bit in some strategic areas. Maybe a little bit on the bottom, just to make sure it stays down. And you sure don't need a lot on this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put our little butterfly right back in our little spot for it.
No.
Just taking this pick tool down here just to kind of make sure. Oh, I missed a little jab there. So you want it to go in right where it, so there is our design element. And then I'm using a sentiment from Gorgeous Posies, which is carrying over. And I'm going to put this like right here.
So sweet.
So I'm just going to grab, where's my seal? Oh, right here. I'm not going to pop it up because this piece is popped up.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just cover up one color. So I'm trying to like balance it here. I think I'm going to put it down here so that you still get to see all of the colors. And then of course, Winnie Bling.
Oh yeah.
So what I did here is I'm using not 3, but I'm using 5 because I want all of them on here. And so I'm going to put another guy. Oh, well, come back here. So I'm going to take some of our copper clay one. I can see me burning through these a lot this year.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I feel like already I've used half a package.
Oh yes. Oh yes, absolutely. And we're going to put this guy right here. I mean, each one deserves their own little color, right?
Absolutely.
And then we'll grab another big one of the blue and stick it here. And then I think a medium of the Moody Mauve. And stick it, yeah, maybe right about there. And there it is.
Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love that so much.
But you're right, Jay. All the colors I think go really well together.
Yeah.
And this may be normally a little bit bigger image that I would do on from a floating card, but
I like it. I
I
think it's
think
a fun like background.
yeah, just to show off all the colors. And of course you can use different colors, as I mentioned earlier, in different size strips and that sort of thing. So anyway,
I've not done a floating pop-up yet. I'm inspired. Not pop-up. What is it? A floating circle? Is that what it's called?
Floating card. I mean, you can use different
Floating.
images.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would my go-to for these, I haven't done one in a long time, was the circles. But gone. So all right. So you wanted to see the designer.
Yes. Oh my
So here's the
gosh.
butterfly, and there's some roses. I almost used those, but I didn't want something so big that it took away from the colors. And then a couple of tags, and this little interesting piece too. So
I need to get these dies back out. I can't believe I haven't opened them yet. These are really cool.
yeah, they really are. And they've got these little slots here. So if you use this one and you're using some ribbon, you can tie like the ribbon that goes through and right here. Or baker's twine or whatever.
Love, love, love.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are those. So those are the 2 die sets I used. And then the posies for the sentiment. And there it is.
Beautiful. Let's flip the camera around and we'll show off our cards together.
Sounds good.
Yay, in colors!
Yay, in color. Right.
I
Man.
think these new in colors are just so different from the other colors in our core collection. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. I really feel like they fill in the gaps, where we're missing in the core color collection. And they're just, I feel like, so unique and different than other colors that we've had in the past. So I'm really excited. And yes, I did just get this shirt. I got it at Old Navy. I was shopping with the girls and I was like, oh my gosh, that's copper clay. And so I just had to get it. But I do see these colors. Like I see them in stores and I see them in fashion and home decor. Like Stampin' Up always nails it with the color trends, and this year is no exception.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And actually, I am hopeful that someday all of these will join the core collection. I love them all. Every year there's like, oh, this one's okay. But boy, this one, love them all. This whole
Well,
set.
we don't have to say goodbye yet. We're saying hello
We're
to the
saying
new in
hello.
colors. And
Yeah,
if nothing else, we'll
absolutely.
have them for at least 2 years
Yes,
before we have to stock up and make sure we have enough to hold us over. But
yes,
yeah, stock up on your favorites, get your favorite ink colors. And one thing we always suggest too is to get the ink refill at the same time as you get your
yes,
ink pad. And Stampin' Up recently with this color refresh, especially, has said that sometimes there can be some differences in the formula of the ink, like just some variations, like
yes,
on a chemical level. And so they highly recommend getting the ink refill at the same time as the ink pad so that it is like a similar like the same batch of ink. If you try to get one, a year from now or whatever, um there might be variations or whatever. Just on a chemical level. So the
right,
color the color is the same, but like right every
right.
time they make it
Yeah,
there can
yeah,
be
yeah.
some
Some
differences
slight
like that.
variation. Yeah. So it's best if
Yeah.
you get the refill when you get the ink pad so that it's the same. So
Yes. Hey, I just had a little window pop up that said battery running low, and I'm
oh,
afraid if we don't wrap up this video that we might have another frozen screen on our
oh my
hands.
gosh. So yes, then we will wrap this up. And we so appreciate when you watch with us and leave us comments, and we read them all. And so if you have ideas, suggestions you want us to show or do, or not do, please let us know. Well, for example, last week we used to do a split screen when we were doing, stamping, the share. But we don't do that anymore. So anyway, that's because of all of you. So thank you for that. And with that, until next Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, have a wonderful week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye, Mom. Love
Bye,
you.
love. Bye.
I'm just kidding.